Hi guys! Happy My Mental Health Monday. How's it going? You guys, I have about 30 minutes before I have to take my kids to Taekwondo. I put them out in the room, literally on the other side of this wall with a bowl of popcorn, a juice box, and a movie. And I'm hoping that that'll be enough to just give me a few minutes to chat with you guys. So yeah, anyways, how is your Monday going? I'm gonna be honest, mine has not been my favorite. I'm trying to be positive, but I definitely kind of struggled today. I thought a lot I thought a lot about what I wanted to talk about, and I decided that this time I'm gonna get off my soapbox and not preach about how I feel about anxiety and depression, but I'm actually gonna kind of talk through a day in the life of this specific Monday today. Um, yeah, a little story time day in the life of what it feels like to have anxiety and depression. Which I think is gonna be hard for me to push submit or broadcast, whatever that button is that sends it out to you guys, because it makes me feel vulnerable and a little bit yucky. But I guess if we're gonna break the stigma and work on that movement, then this is just as important as preaching about why we should talk about it. I guess I should talk about how it affects me in my daily life. Um, so yeah, let's just start at the very beginning. So I woke up. Henry, my littlest, has been kind of on and off sleeping in his big boy bed and his crib, going back and forth. And last night, he decided he wanted to sleep in his big boy bed, which meant he got out of bed himself this morning, and he woke me up about 6:30, which is fine because I got really good sleep last night, which is, difficult for me sometimes. So that was good. So I woke up and I wasn't like, oh no. I was ready. So I got up with him and I made some coffee and I sat down with him. And I kind of waited for the other two to wake up and come upstairs, and they slept in a tiny bit. They slept in until about 7:30. So that gave me about 45 minutes-ish with Henry to kind of just mentally wake up and have some one-on-one time with him. So I started my to-do list for the day because this whole last week we were on a little kind of vacation, I suppose. But yes, we were out in the Seattle area with friends, and then we were in Eastern Washington with our family and friends. So yesterday we got back at about 6-ish, and although the drive wasn't horrific, it just kind of mentally wiped me, and I was just done with the day. So thankfully, my husband had made us dinner and cleaned up the house before we had gotten home. So we came home to like a home cooked meal, which was awesome, and a clean house. But I brought home 3 little boys and laundry and stuff from the car, and yeah, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it last night. So I woke up to the house being a little bit thrashed, and a pile of laundry that needed to be done, and clothes that were clean and needed to be sorted and put away, and things we had gotten from the weekend that needed to find new homes, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of feeling overwhelmed by that because I really like to start my Mondays as organized as possible, and I definitely went into it not. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, like I've said in the past, with my anxiety, I like to control my environment, and I kind of felt a little frazzled because my environment was a little bit all over the place. So I made my to-do list, and the house was kind of a wreck, and finally the boys woke up, and part of my to-do list was I needed to make some phone calls, and I needed to print off a bunch of paperwork for 2 of the boys' schools that are starting soon. So it was the stuff that I hate doing when the kids are around. But it's summer, so my kids are always around, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do it and get it done, not procrastinate. And just like always, though, it really is awful. You know, even if they leave me alone for a few minutes, they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. They're making a mess, they're fighting, they're hitting, just being little kids. So anyways, I got some stuff done that I needed to, which was good. But then by the time I was done with that, there was like cereal and milk on the counter, and I'd given my kids a little painting project. Why did I do that? To keep them distracted. And then Henry decided to like paint his body, so he was messy. So then I'm like, oh, okay, let's go in the bathroom and get cleaned up for the day. And so we did that. And then I decided I needed to buzz my little boys' hair. So then I made more of a mess, and they're kind of freaking out because they're all itchy, and then they got hop in the shower, and then they're running out, and there's water like prints everywhere on the floor, and it's slippery, and everyone's screaming, and my dog's crazy. And I'm starting to feel a little anxious, but I'm still being productive, so I feel good about that. Then I had like one more phone call, or I needed like one more phone call to get done. And so I tried making the phone call. My kids were just like crawling all over me, and it was just really frustrating. It was kind of that thing where if you're a mom, a parent, you know, like they're just crawling all over me. So I kept trying to go to different rooms to like get away from them for a minute, and then they were just like screaming, and then I couldn't hear on the phone, and I was just super frustrated. So then I hung up the phone, and I was kind of feeling, I was frustrated and flustered from that. And then I looked at my to-do list, and I looked at the house, and I shut down. I just felt really overwhelmed, and that was kind of the anxiety taking over that I've talked about before, how it's just like the fight, flight, or freeze. I just like froze. I just couldn't fathom even what to start with. And it's so annoying to myself. I wish I could just be like, who cares about this? I'll do it later. Like, let's go play. It's just, my brain doesn't work that way. So we went downstairs, and I just like needed a minute to just be. So we were downstairs, and that's where my kids' bedrooms are and all the toys. And so I just was like, you know what, mommy needs a few minutes. And I crawled into my kid's bed and just like put the covers around me. And I just like needed to like sit, which is, I mean, yeah, I don't even really know where I'm going with that necessarily about how I was feeling. But by the time I had kind of like sat there for a minute and I started overthinking, then I was feeling depressed, and I was feeling really bad about myself. And by the way, this is not a cry for help. This is not a pity me, nothing like that. It's just, I'm just telling you my story of what anxiety and depression do to me. Even when I am a person that's proactive about it, it still creeps in. It's still there. I'm not perfect. So even though I know there's things that I can do to make it better, it sometimes still just gets the better of me. And again, I'm posting this and talking about this so that people that also struggle know they're not alone. And by the way, side note, some of the messages I've been getting from people just talking about their struggles, or just talking about how they like that I'm talking about my struggles, it's just been really awesome, because then again, it really shows me that I'm not alone. So I'm doing this to show people they're not alone and to break the stigma, but it's really awesome to get messages from other people to make me feel not alone. And then it's really great because it really just gives me that motivation to keep posting these videos. And again, even if it's just one person that connects, I'm okay with that. If no one connects with that, I still got to do something for myself that makes me feel better, and I'm okay with that too. Rant over. Okay. So I'm laying in bed, I'm feeling a little bit depressed, and like my brain just starts going off in different places, and I'm like, a lot of negative self-talk, which I hate when I go that route, but it was just like kind of that downward spiral. I'd already put myself in bed to lay there and like mope for a minute, and then it just kind of like, what are you doing? You know what you should be doing. I wonder if your kids are like, you know, what is mom doing? Although I can tell you, I know that they're not. They're just like, oh, you know, we're playing, whatever. But another thing that's really awesome about these videos is that I am, you know, constantly talking about things that help me. And so I sat there or laid there and thought, okay, Casey, you need to practice what you're preaching. So I like forced myself to get out of the bed. And I'm telling you, a lot of times with anxiety and depression, to get through that like slump, you have to force yourself. So thankfully today, the sky was blue and the smoke that's been sticking around for weeks was gone. And so I told myself, practice what you preach, go outside, get fresh air. So I said, come on, boys, we're going outside. And they were so happy to be outside, and we played for a little bit, and I worked in the yard, which is therapeutic to me and productive, and my kids got to help, and we were working in the garden and filling up our pool and splashing around, and it was great, and I felt so much better. So much better. We were outside for about 2 hours, and then we came inside and had lunch, which of course meals are always just a big explosion of garbage, messy, sticky things, and just, yeah, food and yeah. And so then it's Henry's nap time, and I'm looking around, and the anxiety comes over me again because now there's even more of a mess with our lunch everywhere. I'm going to kind of flip through my notes here, so I'm a little distracted, but it's because I had written stuff down, and I kind of want to keep going in order because I kept writing the stuff down during the day to remind myself. And I know there was stuff in here that I wanted to talk about. So anyways, so I was like, okay, Henry's going down. And yes, so then I took a shower, and I was thinking about self-care and how that also is such a big part of anxiety and depression. I feel like when I'm depressed, my, like, this sounds so gross, but like my personal hygiene just goes down the shitter. Pardon my French, but seriously, it does. Like, I just don't care. I'm like, I don't need a shower. Ew, yes you do. I don't really care about doing my hair. Sometimes if I'm depressed at night, I'll just go to bed without brushing my teeth. Ew. Judge away, but I'm being real. And so I was thinking about this while I was taking a shower. I'm like, you know what? It would be a lot easier for me, and I am kind of in this weird funk today, to just pull my hair back and put on some just, you know, mom gear, yoga pants and like a tank top, and call it good. But then I was thinking about, would that make me feel good or not? And I think it would kind of just make me feel blah. So I decided I was going to put on a dress and do my makeup and put on some nice earrings, and that also helped. Like, I felt good about myself, and then it made me also just feel like, I'm like, okay, I look presentable, I feel good about myself. Even though the house is trashed, I still had some good times with my kids. Everyone's alive, we're all fed, I'm okay. The sky is blue. Our garden looks awesome right now. Just because I haven't gotten everything done on the to-do list for the house, I still have been really productive. So I needed to stop being hard on myself. But like I said, it's kind of just this yucky, vicious cycle. So yes, but once I like physically felt better by like putting myself together, it kind of like woke me up and gave me some energy, good energy. And so I put on some music, and I started cleaning up the house while the kids played. And I got my to-do list done. And But while I was cleaning, of course, my anxious little brain was still going, and I was thinking about stuff, and I was thinking about the self-care part. And I was realizing that if I really had time to myself today, man, the balance of being a mom, a wife, a friend, a sister, your own person, and then the chores and your jobs around you. And I don't even go to a day job. I am just at home with my kids. I mean, I know people have it a lot more hard. I get it. But that balance is really hard to find. I I would have loved to like blow dry my hair and like straighten it, but I knew that that was going to take a lot of time, and that was one thing I'm like, I'm going to sacrifice that today. I'm just going to pull it back wet. But for the most part, you know, I gave myself some TLC, and it felt good. But like I said, if I had had time to really do what was right for me today, I think it would have been like meditate. But I have 3 little kids, and I don't have time to meditate. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I'll meditate tonight after the kids go down. Well, you know what? I've been gone for a week, and I haven't seen my husband, and I would like to spend some time with him tonight. Wow, the sun is like streaming in. This is just awful lighting. Sorry, guys. So anyways, yeah. Oh, how do I do this? Just, what is this? The golden hour? I don't know. This is not a golden hour for me. Anyways, so, you know, it's like, when do we find the time to do those things? And it's that balance. Something's got to give sometimes when we just don't have all the time in the day to do what we want to do. So I think tonight I'm going to spend some time with my husband, and then instead of just going straight to bed after, I think I'm going to do some meditation instead of just going straight to bed, which I think will be great actually for helping me fall asleep. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, maybe? I don't know. So anyways, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you have days like that that are just kind of like, God, this light. There we go. Do you just have days sometimes that just feel off? They're not necessarily a bad day. It's not necessarily the best day of your life, but it's just kind of this funky day, because that is literally what I had, was just a funky day. Nothing bad happened. I just didn't mentally feel good or right, and I was really frustrated by that. And yeah, but tomorrow's a new day, and I do feel so much better. I do feel so much better. I got stuff done on my list. I got to hang out with my kids. I made that an important thing. I actually have dinner going in the crock pot, so I know that when we get back from Taekwondo that, you know, I don't have to worry about that. So that is good. But anyways, yeah, talk to me about your days like that. What are some things that you guys do to just kind of try and turn around your mood when, again, it's not a bad day, but it's not the best day ever? And does that make sense, or does that just sound cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? And if it does, that's okay. Anyways, I guess I'm going on 20 minutes here, so I'm gonna call that good. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's it. Happy My Mental Health Monday. I hope I hear from you guys soon. I love interacting with you guys outside of this. I really do. I think it's awesome. So thanks for your support and reaching out and just chatting with me. I love it. Anyways, I guess I shall see you next Monday for My Mental Health Monday. Have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.